Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good with y'all this morning? Y'all know what it is. It's your boy Trey. First Formation Morning Sports Talk as we get it in. I had Bishop with us for a second. I guess he had to drop off. We'll see if he can get him back. But falling, y'all know what it is. What's going on this morning? Talk to me. What's going on? What's good? What's good? As we know it, weekend eve. So we get ready to kick off this morning with that in mind, knowing that we can go ahead and be prepared for this weekend. What y'all got going on for the weekend? Uh, a little conversation talk, a little sports talk doesn't hurt. A few things that came out, not much really, but you know what I'm saying? Some stuff we can have a conversation about. I'll give an opportunity for y'all to get to the formation to get here so we can continue on with this morning. Good morning to everyone. I hope your morning is going illustrious and that y'all are fine doing the work that y'all need to be, being engaged like you need to be. Good things and good news and everything coming to everybody this morning. Uh, what's good with y'all? Oh, so I can say a couple of things going on, conversations to be had. Um, I'm proud to be here with y'all this morning. I feel a little exuberant for the most part. A little that means that there's some great things coming in the works. I guess I take it. I'm here for it. Little nippy in my home. It's kind of cold. What's good, Zach? What's good this morning? What's going on with you, bro? How you doing, sir? Uh, so, like I said, a couple things coming out this morning. Uh, as you know it, I'm sorry. Uh, what's good, Ladonna? Good morning, man. How you doing? Enjoy leaves act. Hey, I remember those days here and there. When you leave, when is it all over? When you get to go to your next destination. So as we get more people that come into the comments, the I'm trying to think where do I want to start at? NFL, NBA. I'll probably stay with the NBA. So I have a question. What has August 30th? Okay, Ladonna. Let's start there with the hair extensions. So August 30th. All right, August 30th. All right, so you got like a month left in the states. So okay, let's start with Jimmy. Like Ladonna was talking about Jimmy Butler's hair extensions. Um, so what is the problem with Jimmy Butler's hair extensions? Let's start there. So, what is that problem? As we've seen, if you watch social media, if you've been checking it, there's a video in reference to Jimmy Butler as he's showing I could perceive his transition from his hairstyle, his new hairstyle, um, in which you worried about the wrong max extension. So they're showing there's a video going around that shows him um going through his transition. Okay, there you go. That shows him. Oh, hold on. As Bishop comes back in, he got the Fetty Wap going on. bruh, they tripping, man. I was like, I didn't want to start anything because I didn't know if he was coming back on or not. And then, so I was like, so where should we start? And of course, in the already going in on Jimmy Butler's in his hairstyle.
What's wrong with his hairstyle?
That's what I asked. And so they was like, he worried about the wrong. You see the doctor's like, hey, they worry about the wrong extension. Uh, Jaquan's like, hey, he got his Fetty Wap going on. Like, everyone can't.
Man, y'all leave that man alone, man.
You know
WGO,
what?
WGO, what's going on, man? How y'all doing this morning, man? It's after hump day, but it's what? It's almost weekend
Weekend
eve.
Eve.
It is weekend eve. Today is Thursday. That's right. It is weekend eve. That's what it is. What's good, man? Hey, man, I saw that yesterday. I saw that we went from this to this. Y'all leave Jimmy Butler alone, man. It's so this is the kicker, right? And it better not
Mhm.
be no women on here saying nothing
Oh, it's Ladonna.
because
She lit the fuse.
LaDonna, stop it, LaDonna. As much as women put extensions in their hair, stop it.
But it doesn't look like
Stop it,
Ladonna
LaDonna.
has those issues. See, that's where it is. Usually when you don't have
Yeah,
those issues, you know what? So look
it's
at
not a
Ladonna. So
problem.
yeah,
Yes,
it's not a problem. So you know, what I'm saying. So yeah, I'm scared. I'm about to go get mine because I was thinking about going on. As y'all see, I ain't had a haircut in a second because I'm going through the. I'm finna try to grow my hair out. So now I
wait, wait,
feel.
wait, 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 wait. You not finna skip through that just like that
What
simple
you
there,
talking
Trey.
about?
What you
What's
mean
up?
you
I'm
about to
growing my hair out.
grow
I'm
your
growing my hair out.
for
Yeah,
what though?
I'm going back.
For
I'm
what?
just two. Like you know, what I'm saying I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm just growing it out. So it's just I'm just trying to. First, I'm trying to get through the ugly phase because there's only so much you can
Yeah, it
do
is an
at a
ugly
certain
hate
point.
phase. It is an
So
ugly
yeah.
phase. I'm
So
gonna tell
that's
you
all.
if you doing locks, it's an ugly phase.
Oh
That's
no,
hard to go
I
get
don't think I
through.
could do. I don't think I could do locks. I don't know yet. Like I said,
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. I'm just at this point. I'm just throwing stuff at the board, and whatever stick is going to stick. So
Right, I feel you.
you know what I'm saying? So it's that part. So I don't know, you know what I'm saying? At this point I feel like I gotta go get my hair cut. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like
Yeah,
trade me another time.
because
Because
they coming in for you.
Jimmy done messed it all up. So now I can't if I come so now that what that's telling me is if I come on this show and I'm looking
Right.
Jimmy-ish, like it's gonna be a lot to be said. Like really, Trey? Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it's like what we gonna talk about. Let's talk about your hairstyle, Trey.
Yeah.
What's going on? So
Yeah. I get it. I get it. I get it. Yeah. My apologies, man. Again, like I said, I was having technical difficulties. I guess Trey, I couldn't. I was too far from the Wi-Fi. You know what I'm
no, that's what
saying?
it
So
was.
I had to come back in. You know, I'm talking about you, Trey. I'm
So you can't.
talking.
It's like I gotta come in with a green screen that's showing that got me in the fade, but really I got
Yeah.
extensions in my head in the background. Like this is crazy.
Yeah.
So of course, like y'all
Yeah.
say, y'all hear Bishop talking about you know saying the fact he was away from the server in the Wi-Fi live remote. Where we at this particular time, sir?
When a Kumau, it's called a Kumau, Mexico. Acapulco, she called it Acapulco. I say Kumau, Acapulco Beach. We right off the water. I wish I could. I could guess I can give y'all a little look of what it looked like. I don't want to, like I said, it's. Oh, I don't know if y'all can see that. There go the pool, and then the beach is behind the pool. So
So is resort
you
a
know,
villa
no, this is actually Airbnb. Yeah, it's an Airbnb.
Airbnb?
It's an
Okay,
actual house. Yeah, it's an
okay.
actual house. So we here waiting on our chef to come in and cook us some breakfast here in a minute.
It looks like
So
Sis
yeah,
back there chefing. I see it in the back of
yeah,
the
yeah,
cabinet. Like
yeah. You see her standing up
y'all
in the
playing.
cabinet.
Like y'all
Yeah,
playing.
yeah. Oh, the chef just walked in. My wife said
Okay.
so.
See.
He about to put it. He about to put it down. So I'm gonna let y'all see what he did last night. He fixed an amazing meal, man. Just mad shouts out to y'all, man. Huh? That's not him. Oh no, that's the pool people. The pool guys. Okay, yeah, that wasn't the chef. He fixed an amazing meal. Be sure to follow us on Facebook. Not just me, but First Formation. And check it out. I just posted everything. Chef, can I borrow $1, Bishop? Really? LaDonna, that's what we doing. Borrowing $1. Don't do that. Don't do that.
That
As you can see,
that
baby
says a
girl right
dollar,
there.
but I think she actually mean a meal. That's what I think she means a
No.
meal actually.
Hey, I need, let me get $1 too because we know, Trey, I don't know if you heard, I'm sure you have because all the way around the country they're talking about it. That $1.025 billion lottery that's going on right now in the world because no one won the other day. So it has, of course, going up the ever, second highest ever in lottery history. So Trey, you
Yeah.
got your tickets?
No, not yet. Don't worry, you would know if I got my ticket because you would come on here and be waiting. It's like, damn, where Trey at? And it's like I done set up in all communications.
He done went and bought a studio. He done went and
Yeah, you know
bought
what
a
I'm saying? It's
studio and
like, where you
everything.
at? You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm doing remote like you.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you, bro. But yeah, man. If you get a chance, man, if you ever get a chance to come out here to Kumau is in between, or is out here by Tulum and Cancun. A
Tulum, yeah,
lovely
Cancun.
place, a lovely site. Yeah, lovely view and lovely site. It's just amazing to be able to wake up. It's a 6 bedroom, amazing villa. It's nice, man. It's nice.
How long did it take y'all to get there?
2 hours, bro. 2 hours.
2 hours from San
2 hours.
Antonio.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, 2 hours from San Antonio, man. No, a 2 hour flight. No time at all. No time at all. By the time you fall asleep and drink your drink, you about ready to land. About
Oh,
ready.
I don't drink, so I wouldn't have no problem.
No.
I'll just be up.
Oh, I'm just talking about any type of beverage, not necessarily
Oh,
alcohol
it
beverage.
don't
I'm talking
know,
about
no
any
matter
type
what.
of beverage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. Because
yeah,
it's like
you pretty
I
much.
be sleep by the runway by the time we taxi.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's how it was for this one. I ain't gonna lie, I was asleep before we even took off in the air. I was already asleep, gone, packing and
so
whatnot.
it's a little going on in the NBA. Then we get to saying the beloved NFL. In the
Okay.
NBA, as we know, a couple of days ago, Boston um, petitioned. Let's say petitioned the
Hmm.
New York Nets. I mean Brooklyn Nets with a deal in which they declined. So, with that being said, how bad do you think that offer has damaged the relationships between Jalen Brown and the organization? Because it's not like New York. I mean, Brooklyn hit them with the offer. It's like, hey, are you trying to? This is what
Hmm.
we're trying to do. And you start thinking about it. You petitioned. You offered him up. How would that? How
Hmm.
bad do you think that fraction? And how would that make you feel as a player?
Who's here? Oh, hi. Good morning, chef. How you doing? Good morning. As you can see, the chef just dropped in. How would I feel about what? Say that again, Trey. I'm
How would
sorry.
you feel? How would you feel in the same similar situation? And do you think it's really damaged? Has it damaged the fray of the team? I mean the construct of the team at this point.
By what? Because of.
Because they offered Jalen Brown as opposed to them asking for Jalen Brown.
I don't think it hinders anything. To be honest, in my opinion, I don't think it does. We have to see. I don't think anything is. It should. I don't. It shouldn't. It shouldn't hurt the franchise. If it's a distraction, I feel. You know how I feel about distractions, Trey. I don't. I feel like distractions definitely need to be out the way so that you can focus. But I don't think it should be a problem, in my opinion.
I think like what Wooten was saying, it's almost like a
Hmm.
smack in the face. But I mean, well, I guess it depends when you look at it because we know that value has to be offered for value. So maybe in that
Right.
value,
You look at the business aspect.
yeah, the business aspect, of it, like maybe I'm perceived as that value, and everyone
Hmm.
can't, saying they can't give up everybody because they have to bring them into something. But of course,
Right.
say with the conversation of Jason Tatum, but I think it also takes it to be said that in the process, like we was just talking about, we all know everyone's seen that Jalen Brown was the reason, if anything, that they were even formidably had a chance in the championships because Jason Tatum disappeared for the majority of it. So it's like you want to give me up. It's like, you want to give me up? As a offer sheet. What would that look like? Jason Tatum Jason Kevin Durant or Jalen Brown and Kevin Durant? Which one would be a better fit? And which now that I think about it, and I'm willing to say it'd probably be a better fit with KD and JB as opposed to JT. So or Brooklyn thinks
We all know JT is the. I'm sorry, I was talking and didn't even know I
yeah.
was on mute. We know JT is the franchise player for Brooklyn right now.
Mm.
It's not JB, it's JT, in my opinion.
Yeah, true
So
that.
I feel like, yeah. So with that being said, I feel like um, yeah, he's. I can see what Brooklyn would want to do in regards to if we giving you KD, you got to give us JT. But I feel like if Kyrie is still there, I think Jalen would still be an asset. In my opinion, he would definitely be an asset to the to the organization. So I don't think it's a lose situation, regardless whether it's JT or JB. In my opinion, I feel if
Okay.
I can get one or the other, I'm cool with it. I feel like that's a
Yeah,
plus
of course.
in
Yeah,
either
if I
on
yeah
both
if I'm being
aspects.
yeah if you being traded, you think like okay if I get there I can work with either or. You know what I'm saying? We'll make it work. So definitely I understand that. It's just when you look at it, but like Wooden was just saying that as he was tapping in on it. Like at this point, there's not what we see is we've known like Jalen Brown's out of California, University of Cal. So of course, University of Cal is not a predominant or prominent school when it comes to basketball. So there was no real buzz. We know, of course, Tatum out of Duke. We all know who Duke is. So there was no buzz. So in my opinion, I've watched Jalen Brown slowly but surely walk in Jason Tatum. And now we have a situation to now, like Wuna was just saying, there's not really when you look at it, there's not really too much of it. I mean, the difference isn't too far apart now. Like I was thinking, if you was to move one in this aspect of what you're talking about, Kevin Durant, either one, like he was just saying, either or, I think would be a nice fit around KD. KD and Brown is a better fit. Yeah, KD and Brown is a better fit. Yeah, the same thing. I think the same thing, Anthony. There, it would be a better fit if KD and Brown as opposed to Jason Tatum and Brown. But
I don't know, man. You saying KD and Brown is better than KD and Tatum?
yeah, I think that would be a better fit
I don't. I don't. You
because
talk about in Boston though, right?
either or. But yeah, but in this case
I
in
still don't.
Boston,
No, I don't. I feel like Tatum. I
Brown is
think
playing.
Tatum will compliment him more. I think Tatum will compliment him more, KD more than Brown would, in my opinion.
Because in the current system, like during the playoffs, Jalen Brown played basically as a two. So if you can keep him off, well, we know KD is not his height puts him, but his build, he's more of a three. He can play small ball center maybe, but for the most part, he's a three. So you can keep him off the ball. You can keep if you are able to play Jalen Brown as a two, maybe sometimes as a three, if depending on where you push KD. If you push KD down to a small ball forward or even a fourth, with just to be on the out to stay on the outside to draw somebody out. I think that works better than Jalen. I mean, than Tatum, who is playing the point forward or playing a three or the four from the four position. It's so I just think the skill set is more set for Brown and KD to be a better connection than Jason Tatum. At this point, you putting two stars together.
Wait, aren't you putting two stars together regardless? Aren't you putting two stars
Well,
together whether it's a KD
true,
and Tatum or KD or Brown? Both. I mean, don't get me wrong. Brown is not as much as quite a star as Tatum yet. As
but he's
long
a
as he
star.
still
Yeah,
stays on
he's
that
all
path.
right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
he's a star. Yeah, he's a star, but he's not at the. He's not completely at the caliber of Tatum yet. People like Brown is not a total household name all across the country
Okay, I
compared
can
to
get that.
Tatum. You know what I'm saying? But he's not far from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he keeps continue playing the way he's playing, he will definitely be at that same plateau as Jalen. Yeah, Jason. But with that, man, I don't know. To me, KD and JT will just be a force to be reckoned with. Not saying they won't be with Brown either, but I think that it'll be the force will be with them just a little stronger with him and JT compared to him and JB.
Okay, and like his Woon said, he don't want him to go anywhere as a Kevin Durant fan. He wants him to stay in
I don't
Brooklyn.
either. I'm with you too, Wooten. I don't. I want him to stay in Brooklyn too. I'm with you, Wooten. The same thing. I don't want him to leave. Definitely, I don't want him to go to Boston. But if we're just talking, business savvy about it, and if it were to happen, yeah, I would prefer him and JT compared to him and JB.
Okay, so when you look at it, it's staying in the same vein with reference talking in regard to Brooklyn. What do you foresee? And even though I see the situation in Brooklyn salvageable when it comes to Kyrie? Like we have like all the conversations about KD and him going because he requested the trade. But is it a situation where you believe that it's salvageable where they would even keep Kyrie? I know of late what I've seen is Kyrie wants to stay in Brooklyn. He doesn't want to leave, but Brooklyn has some issues. They said basically there needs to be considerable changes made, significant considerable changes made uh, with Kyrie. What are those changes? What is considered significant changes? Like I wonder what is really going on in that situation to where has he really burnt the bridge like that?
Burnt the bridge with who? And
With
like
Brooklyn.
when you say burnt, oh, I'm sure. I'm sure that bridge is partially burnt. I won't say it's fully. I won't say it. Bless you. I won't say it's fully burnt because of the fact that they kept him and they still have him there. But I feel like it is partially burnt. It's partially burnt, and they feel some type of way. They on the pins and needles on whether or not how they feel about Kyrie because of Kyrie didn't play this season, but he again what we got to keep in mind was he didn't play because his beliefs in regards to the vaccine, and a lot of people felt that way about that vaccine, man. So do you really knock a person because of his feelings toward the vaccine, being that no one knows what this vaccine could entail years down the line, so he chooses to stray away from it, so forth and so on. Because when it's all said and done, once basketball is over, what do you have left? Life. That's it. That's all you have left is life. And therefore, being that you don't have life, being that you have life, nothing left, you have life left after basketball. That vaccine could possibly be detrimental. I'm not saying it is, because I took the vaccine. A lot of other people have taken the vaccine. My family is vaccinated and things of that nature. But who's to say? I feel like you can't judge him because of that, man. Because everybody has their own feelings and opinions about that
And
vaccine.
and this is it's funny because additionally, even in reading all of that, what was also said is that the ideal is that after the resolution has came for KD, that Kyrie is out. They're going to get rid of Kyrie, even if it's with or without Durant. Kyrie is going to be. They're going to trade Kyrie one way or another because, like you said, they're tired of it. The back and forth and going through. So it seemingly, presumably, the reports are that Kyrie is out. It's just a matter of time. Hence the reason why they're prioritizing the KD trade. Then move their if that happens, then they go ahead and move on to removing or moving Kyrie out. So
So you saying they're focused on moving? So you saying their plan is to eventually go ahead and move Kyrie out, but first they're focused on moving KD first.
if they can, and which y'all like you said, if it's
Why would
starting
they?
to look.
But why would they move? Why wouldn't they package him as a deal then? If they plan on moving Kyrie too, like
I
if
don't
that's
think
the
it's
case, if you moving Kyrie and KD, why not package them as a deal? If you plan on moving them both,
I think that was
that's a bigger option than just KD by himself.
true, but I don't think I don't know who if they like everyone's no one seems like since they talked LA the conversation, no one
Mm-hmm.
has thought about that again. So when you think about it, what other organization for the most part would they be able to get something for both KD and Kyrie and be able to move? Like I think if they move, I think the
You can
only
get the
format
you can you can get the table for them two
you think
as a
so?
tandem. Yes, because even despite the fact I know why you feel that way because of what Kyrie personally did this past season. However, when it's all said and done, when he's on the court and he's able to play, he's a force. He's a huge force. And then when you pair him up with KD, that's even a bigger force. Like, come on, man. Like that's without being said. That's without question, man. And to pair them together, and if what Wooten said about Kyrie and KD wanting to play together, but just not in Brooklyn, man, that's a win-win for Brooklyn. If they really want to get rid of KD and Kyrie, me personally, if I'm Brooklyn and I'm trying to get rid of both of them individuals, KD and Kyrie, I'm
Hmm.
shopping at people like Minnesota, Milwaukee. I'm shopping people like maybe the Lakers. I'm shopping people like who else? Maybe Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? Young team. Uh, I'm shopping them two as a tandem in a few different big markets, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact I got them two, I got a 2-man tandem that could probably compete with anybody in the NBA without
I
question.
I think the Lakers would be the only ones that could offer any value in that situation. Well, yeah, for
Why
the
just
two of them.
wait? Why just the Lakers?
Because in that you can set up, you have a couple you could trade even, and which is sounds a little far off. You can even give up Westbrook and AD, or which might be unfathomable, or LeBron and Westbrook to get almost a
I
similar
would see
value in
LeBron and
that.
Westbrook before I see AD. Yeah, I would see LeBron and Westbrook, but I do agree. The Lakers is definitely one of those teams. If I was Brooklyn, I would be going. If I'm shopping them two together, definitely a team in which I would be going after. But I don't understand why you say no other teams. Like why
So
not? Why not the Milwaukee Bucks? Why not the Philadelphia?
because
Well, I know now the
Milwaukee is
Sixers
not
because they
giving,
already got Ben Simmons. They already
they're
got
not.
Simmons, and they already got rid of Simmons, and we don't. Wait, we got rid of Simmons. They got rid of Simmons and took Harden, so we definitely don't want Harden back. So the Sixers ain't really got nothing. But why
Yeah,
not
but
Milwaukee?
so
Why not Phoenix?
Milwaukee's not giving up on Giannis, and he would have to be in that. There's no value between anyone else outside of Giannis. It would be
Middleton?
Giannis and
Middleton?
not even. I don't even think Middleton is going to be enough. Giannis is like
What?
Middleton, and nobody else is like after Giannis. That's the best they got is Middleton, and they're not. I don't foresee a situation where they're giving up Giannis to get KD and Kyrie. Then I don't see that working. Like you was just talking about Philadelphia.
Phoenix. We
Okay,
already know about Philadelphia.
Phoenix. No, Booker and who?
Why
Aiden,
not?
Booker and Paul. That's not
No.
enough.
Booker and Paul is not enough.
No, not for KD and
When
Kyrie.
you
I don't
keep
think.
Brooklyn, really, when
I
you
think the
looking
only
at that,
person
you
that
still
might have
because you still got Simmons over there in Brooklyn.
true that. I think the only person that other team that could have been for Madu, but it can't work anymore because they traded the other way would have been Rudy Gobert and
And
Donovan
Donovan
Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Yeah. Because I think that would have been the only other tandem in which they could have like, okay, we move. It probably would
See,
have took a little more.
look at what Boone said. The Suns trying, but the Nets want too much. I say that.
Yeah,
They
because
wanted.
Dude can't be traded now. Aiden can't be traded now. So it's like a few
Right. He
things,
got
but
6 months. Yeah.
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 So it's like it's yeah.
Mm.
Bridges, Jay Brown, 4 first round picks, and some more picks. Yeah, like everyone, like truth be told, Minnesota messed the market up when they gave all that up for Rudy Gobert. So now it's
Ready to
like
go back.
everyone, yeah, it's like everyone's like, man, if they giving that up, like it becoming cutthroat, where they looking like, yo, if they giving that up for Rudy, like we should get
Mm-hmm.
your next 5 first round picks and
Facts.
a couple of swaps. So it is what it is. But yeah, I just think it sounds like it's not a salvageable situation, and it's like I feel like it sounds like that Kyrie is willing to let it go and to go ahead and let's go get saying take care of business. But the
Right.
Nets are like, nah, saying we've been down this road with you before. We're not going to continue to do this.
I said that. I told you I feel like the Nets are going to go ahead and play with KD and Kyrie. I think both of them going to end up still being there when the season starts. I'm pushing to see Bron and KD together for one season. That's what a lot of people are pushing for, including your boy Trey over here. That's what he would like to see happen. But yeah, I'm not pushing for that. How you want him to go to play with
You know what?
but you don't want to
You
go
know
to
what I
play
feel
with
like. You know what I
you
feel
don't
like
want
how
to go
you
to play with
you know how I feel like you
Boston,
treat me,
bro.
Bishop.
That's
I
crazy.
feel like you treat me like a Dallas Cowboys fan. I feel like you treat me like a
What do
Dallas
you mean?
Cowboys fan because
How you figure that, bro?
a wealth of riches is what we have in organizations. The Lakers is a wealthy, well-established organization to where they pull things like this happen. And so I don't want to feel any particular way because I feel like LeBron and KD connection is possible and to even have that. And so I feel like yesterday someone I think a question was posed to me by who was it? Yes, Anthony Price posed a question to me, which is, or it might have been Drunk. I think it was Drunk. Posed a question asking which is worse, Lakers fans or Cowboys fans.
Oh yeah, I've seen something about that. It's Cowboy fans,
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt. Like I said, because we
without
have like,
question. Yeah, that's
yeah,
easy.
it's because yes, we have, but we have recent success. The Cowboys, however, like every team comes in with the idea of like, okay, it's our year, it's our year. Everyone does that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's understandable. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
does that without a doubt. But the difference in Lakers fans are have more of a
There's some
stake to that.
Cowboy fans without a doubt. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's Cowboy fans without a doubt, which is interesting because we have some Cowboy talk.
Hate it. We got some
But
Cowboy
yeah, so they gonna
fans
say that
around here. Yeah.
I just feel a certain type of way. I just feel a certain type of way. I feel like I get ridiculed for being a part of excellence and you know what I'm saying riding with excellence.
Uh huh.
Brooklyn to get there one day. You know, even with my USC Trojans, like they're great. I mean, that's
They're
not
not great. No, let's
no,
not do
they're
that.
great.
They're not great.
They're
Let's
great.
not. They're
You
not
know they're
great. They're
great.
not great. They're like the Cowboys. They're in the same boat as the Cowboys. They haven't won it. When the last time that we talked about this just the other day, Trey? Don't do it. We just went over the last time they won a national championship. Like they're just like the Cowboys. They're around the same time frame is when they won a national championship last. So let's not act like they're not on the same boat. They're not great. That's like saying the Cowboys are great. No, they're not great. They may be mediocre, but they're not great.
The disrespect, mediocre. You ain't even give them above average. You call them mediocre.
What makes them above average? They were last in their division, yes, in the Pac-12,
The
or
year
third
before
to
that,
last.
the year before that,
Third
they
to
was
last.
the year before that they played in the Pac-12 national championship. I mean, they
Did they
played.
win?
No, they lost to was it Oregon,
Then it doesn't.
Washington? But I'm saying,
Washington. It doesn't
yeah, Washington,
matter.
Washington.
Then it doesn't matter. But if they didn't win it, they would see like when it's outside. You said the year before last, so they must have had a winning season that year.
Yeah,
To me,
they was what 5-1 or something like that.
yeah, something like that.
With our, you know what I'm saying, roster. But you know what? Times are changing. I expect good things.
We'll see.
I can't wait. I
We'll
can't wait
see.
to the
We'll
I can't
see.
wait to
We'll see if
they
Lincoln
come out.
Riley is the USC whisperer. We're gonna see if Lincoln Riley is the USC whisperer.
Just wait. Yeah. I can't wait till the rankings come out.
I can't either, bro. And you know what? I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. They're gonna give y'all. They gonna put.
Stupid.
I still stuck on they got it. Stop it, bro. What? I'm just like, stop it, man. The fact of the matter is, what do you say? They definitely not great. That part won't. Thank you. How's they great? How they put them in? I didn't see put them in the category of great, bro. That's all I'm saying. Like great, like that's a huge step you putting them on, bro. And they not on that step. But I'm gonna be honest with you. When these ratings come out, I'm gonna be completely honest. And if you're not truthful to this and know to be honest about this, you know something. Trey, they're gonna give him a high rating because of the fact it's Lincoln Riley. They are.
What?
Because his resume speaks volume. They're going to give him a high rate. Y'all going to be in the top 25 because of his resume alone.
We was in the top 25 when we had Clay Helton. That's not what's that saying? Like it's because of USC. It's because it's USC.
No.
We're gonna get a higher preseason ranking because of Lincoln Riley, but we're going to be in the top 25 because it's USC.
Y'all gonna get a higher ranking because of two things: Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams. Them two things is gonna get y'all in the probably. They might even put you probably the top 15. I don't know if they can put y'all in the top. I don't know if they're gonna put y'all in the top. If they do, y'all should be 9 or 10. Yeah, if y'all do, y'all should be 9 or 10. Y'all should be 9 or 10, no higher than 9 or 10. But because of Lincoln Riley and oh boy, yes, y'all gonna be I don't even like to say his name. Yeah, Lincoln Riley and oh boy, y'all gonna definitely be in probably close to the top 10 without question.
Yeah, we should be top 10 at least.
9 or 10, not top. No,
maybe. I would
give
you top 15. I'll even fall back and maybe top 15.
Yeah, 15. I said 15. Yeah. I said 15. Like,
It's
but
going to be that.
if y'all in the top 10, y'all should be 9 or 10, no higher than 9.
But even if it was just regular USC, we would be in the top 25. Or you know what? Yeah, I would say top 25,
Yeah,
maybe on the
I would
cusp.
give y'all that.
Yeah, so that's why
Yeah, I
like
give y'all that.
USC
I
was
give y'all
get
that.
us Lincoln Riley with him because it's just like this, right? With the fact of it's USC, what can be possible gets us there. So of course, if it's anything else, like we always say, when you add
Mhm.
think about it when you're cooking, and the food can be trash. Wait, no, I'm not gonna use that. Disregard. I almost said something. No, I'm not gonna say that.
Mm.
I almost said the wrong thing. But in any case,
Yeah.
in any case, we will see. So, what do you think about the programs, Bishop? Like currently, we have Paul George is about to make a appearance at the Drew League this coming weekend. Uh, it's not top 10; it
I'm
doesn't
with
count.
you, Wood. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
Oklahoma, we'll be further ahead of. We should be ahead of Oklahoma. That's without a doubt.
No, no,
Yes,
y'all should not.
that's going to
Trey,
happen.
how? How? What did y'all finished third to last year, bro? How did y'all? How do you put? How does it put y'all above us?
We retooled and we
How?
have a better We have a better team
But
now, top to bottom.
that doesn't. How does that put y'all above us though? Because our track record speaks for
Because
itself.
y'all,
Why we should be above y'all?
because you don't
Why
know
should
what
y'all
you
be
have.
above us?
Y'all have even though Dylan Gabriel was good when he was playing, he has not played in 2 years, and he's coming back to play. That's one thing that
Okay,
he's potentially going to be y'all starting quarterback, and you have an unproven coach in Brent Venables
Brent
coming
Venables.
back
Okay.
coming back. So on right now, they're not if they would be it would be silly to put y'all might be top 15 based on y'all Oklahoma. That's it. If y'all get any higher than
Top
that,
15?
that's
No, we're topping it. We're top. We're in the top 10, bro. We're in the top 10 no matter who's that. It's Oklahoma, bro. We're in the top 10 no matter what our who our
y'all
coach is.
top
We're
15.
going to be in the top 10.
We'll be top 15
No,
and we wherever it is, y'all
and
we'll be in the same
top
we'll
10,
be in the
and we
same
should, and
top.
they should never. No, there's no way y'all should be above us. There's no way y'all should be above us. Top 10 and no way above us. There's no
You,
way.
you can't be saying that with a
And
straight
with me
face.
saying that and saying that y'all may make 9, I am. Oh, I am. With me saying that and me saying a minute ago that y'all be if y'all make bust the top 10, y'all gonna be 10 or 9, either 9 or 10, no higher than that. We'll take the fact that we'll be 8, but there's no way that USC should be above us. There's no way,
Y'all
no way,
might
form
be
or fashion.
10, we'll be 8, or y'all be 15, we'll be 13. That's what it'll be.
You that
it's,
man,
it's not
stop
even
it, Trey.
it's not even
Stop it.
cap. Like
And
that's what's
once
gonna
again,
be.
he's been drinking y'all this morning. Y'all got excused, Trey.
I
His
prefer
coffee
to.
had his coffee didn't have Trey don't drink alcohol, but his
I was
coffee
drinking coffee
probably
either.
had the wrong
What's good, Coach? What's
well
going on? Good boy.
his tea the tea he had this morning was probably bad. Something because Trey is on one this morning, yo.
Uh, You know what? I
But we
speak.
can't wait. We
Y'all know
got
I
weeks. We
speak
just
facts.
weeks away, bro. We are weeks away. Woo,
But yeah, so yeah,
weeks.
he said, "I'll see you started again, Wooten, because when I
What up,
seen
Uriah? What up,
it's
Coach
not top
Uriah?
10, and he said that like was a trigger. I was like, this guy is delusional. But in any case, like we say, with the pro ams, we have Paul George making an appearance since the first appearance in the pro am since 2014. Uh, and now we have Panchero. Banchero's going to be playing in the crossover in Seattle. What do you think about the pro players, active pro players, potential stars playing in these games? These I guess you could say meaningless games. It's for the culture, but playing in these games. If what do you think about it? If you were a GM, are you signing off on this? You muted.
Absolutely, I'm signing off on them games. My bad. I forgot I was
Really?
muted. Yeah, because I a lot of times them games are being played for for special reason, whether
Causes.
it's for a cause or stuff like that, or whether it's just to keep. You got to hone your skills, bro. I know everybody worry about injury and stuff like that, but if it's a player, you done took a few months. Like look, LeBron played in it. He played in the Drew League. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he had more time because he was, of course, they didn't make it into the playoff, but he played in the Drew League and was able to, get his play time in and stuff like that. So I don't see nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? I would definitely tell, as a coach, though, I would definitely tell my players, don't be going in all hard. Don't go all in. I'm gonna save some. Don't be trying to take it too far. But other than that, yeah, I don't see a problem with it at all. I don't see what's so good. I mean, it ain't no different than these guys playing full contact football. They go out and play flag football or go play basketball during the off season. You see some of them out there playing basketball during the off season and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's just a part of it, in my opinion.
Not on duty. Not on duty. Can't allow it. Hey, get into as a GM. I see. Like, thank you, coach. I know there had to be something that came to.
But look what he said. I don't like it, but as a fan,
If you,
some of those players can't afford NBA tickets, and this may be the only time to see these star players. I like that. Thanks, coach. I appreciate it.
that's why you have people in organizations that put together certain things to where, or even they ain't got to play in it exposition where it's just other ways to play in the program is just why I'm not as a GM I would probably kind of cringe at that. Or if I look up and see a certain thing like maybe a little different than Drew League because there's a lot going on there and it's a little more professionally ran and stuff like that. Not to say that isn't the same with the crossover. I've been to the crossover program before it became the crossover program while I was up in Seattle. So I seen the players and stuff like that, and the people come out. So, but as a GM, I don't know if I could be. I'm going to basically be like, no, what I'm saying, do not. You might get one game, and then after that one game, it's like, oh, what you played? No, you can't play anymore. You gotta have a seat. Can't play anymore. Um, Jordan had a clause in his contract that allowed him to play wherever
That
he
part
wanted to
you
go.
right. Like he said, even when he shot, when he shot, what was it, Space Jam, they created a whole gymnasium for him
For him to
so
play
he
in,
could
yeah.
play ball. Yeah, so you know what I'm saying. So it is what.
Because they talked about, I think, who was it? Bill
So,
Bellamy talked about. I remember seeing he talked about the pickup game that they had and all that type of stuff.
right,
So,
right, yeah, Bill
but
Bellamy,
that's
because
but that's a
stars could
secluded.
go because it was in Hollywood, so
Yeah, but
stars
that's a
could come
secluded. You
through and
know what I'm
play.
saying? But
Right,
that's a
come
little
through and play.
different.
Go ahead.
That's a secluded environment. There's only a couple of people that's in there, and without a doubt is people that's going in there just to play. Like you don't. So you're not gonna have someone that's just a novice that's playing because they want to play with Jordan and basically can't even play. Where the accidents and stuff happen, like everyone's cognizant of what's going on. So that's a little bit different. When you're looking at the G League, everyone's playing, like you're playing hard. You know what I'm saying? To
Mm-hmm.
whoever, going at whoever that it is for the most part to a degree. Or I know I am. I'm not taking a day off in any case. So if you on the court, then we gotta it's go time. You just hope that you're on
Right.
the same team as me because if you're on the court together, it's go time. So I'm not looking at the fact that okay, Jordan's on the court because I know he trying to bust me like I would try to bust him, and it's more so expected that he's going to bust me. So a mindset takes over. Was like saying he ain't gonna get me. I was never one. I have never been a person worried about getting dunked on because it happens. So it's like I'm not gonna just not go at the try to meet him at the rim. It's like that's not how it's going down. So if I want to even because in state is even I'm on a highlight reel which is expected, or I make a highlight reel which isn't expected. So that would be my mentality. So if anyone else that would be thinking like that, I was like, nah, we're not gonna do this. You might get away with one because I don't know. But once I find out, we finna shut that down,
Mm. I
and
don't know.
we try to find another way. Basically, go
Oh,
have a players camp or something like that. Like, dude, let's do something else. Like, you don't have to.
would you prefer these stars to play in a pro am or like Zion on a blacktop playing against high school kids? Oh,
Me.
um, like Coach Uriah, what do you mean? Like
So I
playing
could
play? in a pro-am or like
He
Zion
said
on a
between the two.
blacktop.
I mean, of course, a pro am in that matter,
Right, because there's more talented kid, more talented. It's a more talented pool
it's
of
more
players.
competitive. Yeah, you have a better
Yeah,
opportunity.
yeah, to be able to see where your skills are versus competitive players compared to high school. Yeah, they're not quite there at that level. They're trying to get there, and then, don't get me wrong. There's some high school players who can ball out without question. But yeah, I think Zion this past summer was playing pickup against random high school kids.
That'd be
Yeah,
all. That'd be all. Media and public affairs stuff. Uh,
yeah.
promotionals and stuff like getting them out. Like the back in the day, you see the commercial where the stars going past a playground and stopping, saying pick up the
And
ball
play,
and
yeah,
distance it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I think
I mean,
if I was a star, that would be me, especially as a basketball player. It's a little bit different for football and stuff like that. But as a basketball player, that would be me. I'll just be random
and you
places
can't,
like
and you got
talking.
to remember, and you got to remember. So for me, I feel like with Zion playing basketball with high school students and stuff like that, we got to keep in mind it's not that far. He's not that far from being, in high school. What Zion's maybe 23 right now, 22, 23
Hmm.
years old. And with that, what I'm saying, again, like I stated before, when it comes to playing high school students, especially seniors and stuff like that, and that are in high schools, they got a whole lot of stamina, a whole lot of energy. So that in a way, it could possibly keep you in shape for during the off season playing with high school students, because they running like way more probably, or just as much if not more as college players or NBA players. You know what I'm saying? High schools are, they running, and not saying they don't do that in the NBA, but it's for me. I feel like it could possibly be a way to keep you in shape. Wasn't Lamar Jackson caught throwing routes to players on the basketball court, and that kind of is the same thing. Facts. Fact, that's what I was telling Trey. You got football players out there who actually during the off seasons out there playing basketball. They play basketball. Pick up basketball games. They play flag football. It's a lot of stuff that that these players do outside of the state.
What kind of star would you be? I was just wondering what
I
kind
would,
of
I
star would
would
you be?
I would go out play. I would go play.
You connect with the
I'm not
people
that.
every time you get a
Yeah, I
chance.
would be that dude to go play. Oh yeah, especially as much as I love football, man. Any opportunity I get, I would any opportunity I had to be able to play football, whether it's full contact, flag, touch, I was playing. I didn't care, what it was. I was playing. Now, as I got older, I'm not gonna lie. As I got older, I kind of shied away from it because I knew, it'd take longer for me to recover. If I got injured, it would take longer to recover from that as well. So yeah, I kind of shied away from it, from playing as much, but I still would play it. So yeah, I'm playing everywhere. Anytime I can play, I'm playing. That's me. That's how I feel. That's me. That's how I was, man.
So I think so. As me,
That's why I played flag football so long, bro. Like for the love of the sport, man. You love the
Coach
game,
Wayne has
man.
entered
You
into
gotta
the
stop
chat.
it. Stop it. Throwing around and actually playing the game is different. He ain't moving. He throwing. I got time today.
Coach Wayne has entered to the chat.
He owned it, boy. He owned it today. Cause you're right. He coming for you, man. He throwing daggers. But
So
yeah, playing is playing, man.
as your
Whenever you get
if
a chance to play.
as your agent in that case, what I would do is be like, okay,
You would advise from it. You would
no,
advise
no.
not to do it.
What I would do is be like, yo, let's do this. Say, put a backyard for flag for football purposes. Put a field in your yard, and let's bring kids in. Like saying we don't, saying we not finna pull up anywhere. Let's bring a couple of kids in here and there. So it would be like I would be advising like that. For Wooten, I'd be like we go ahead and set it up in your house. Saying you can sit up and go bring a couple of kids in. Make a day where saying every so often you have a couple of runs and stuff like that. Like we're not going to be all over the country and all over different. We're not going to be like overtime all stars. We going pulling up at uh back ball courts all over the country to play games. Like nah, we gonna go ahead and kind of like
We just talking about like pickup games. Not necessarily playing in like necessarily going on trying to go play all over the country, playing tournaments and stuff like that. No, but maybe a pickup game here or two on a weekend, or
maybe
somebody's
every
got a huge.
maybe every 3 years we'll go ahead and do a program here and
Wow,
there.
Every 3 years, bro.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
We not finna sit up and so that way the attention builds. It's like, okay, you got a program this week, oh, Wooten's pulling up, then we got a celebrity flag football game going on here. Okay, business playing. It's like that's what we're doing. Like we're not finna have all that.
Really, Coach, you're right. It's all fun and games until you run into a metal pole on a basketball. That's what we doing. Until you run into a metal pole on the basketball court. Good example. I have all my Army type talents, and I have to shut them down in September to prevent them from getting injured prior to camp. You have to protect them from themselves.
Thank
I
you,
get
coach.
it.
That's why he would be the. That's why he would be the
But he
coach I
said
would
at
go
a
after.
certain time in September. He said he shuts them down in September though. So he allows them that opportunity to do I guess pretty much what they want prior to September. And in September he advises them, hey, he can only advise and be like, look, hey, I would
Because
advise
like
you
he
not
was
to play
saying,
anymore.
like
But
even going back into the military basketball type play, there's a bunch of tournaments that go on all throughout the year. Of course,
right.
especially us as service members, we have Veteran Day and Labor Day tournaments, Veteran Day tournaments, military appreciations, all this type of stuff. So from an aspect of a coach, as much as I would perceive, and please, Coach Wayne, Coach Hunter, help me out with this. You're not trying to play in all those tournaments because, like Coach
Right.
Hunter was just saying, you gotta, allow them to protect themselves, and you gotta avoid injuries and kind of let the body, as you have a target, which is usually a championship, whatever championship that is, as opposed to a tournament, or although it does gear up. So in the sense of Coach Uriah, we know that he has a couple, a few players. So he has teams he can build to go for developmental purposes as opposed to his
Mm-hmm.
main players. Uh, so I can see like the shutdown in September as they get ready for their season, and you kind of like you have players that are development that probably need to go hit a tournament or two to see where they're at. Even with the likes of, you're probably not going to win, but you just want to see where these players are at.
Mm-hmm.
So I can
Yeah.
understand that, but I mean, I mean, there's no exact science. I'm very sure like Coach Hunter, Coach Walcott both have uh, things in which they do that has worked for them, uh,
Mm-hmm.
that may not work for someone else. Okay, prevent
Yeah.
it as much as possible. Thank you. Exactly. And which is, and then so, but even that, like you saying that, what's the why? Why then? Like, why get out there just to sit up, saying as Bishop would say, half acid, or so? Why do that? I mean, I understand for the culture, for those who don't get a chance to see, for those that want to be proud or whatever case like that. I'm very sure when DeMar goes home, then saying every little kid that's around, saying we have a very prominent, prestigious team in the Compton Magic that's out there for AAU. So it's like of course, if they people like them come home, Tayshaun Prince, um, when they're even though they're not as well, I guess DeMar is the most notable right now. When they come home, I'm very sure it's exciting to see him, and to be around him, be in his presence. But for the most part, why would Bi go home? Why is it that he basically he's not playing hard? He's just out there playing. Like at that point, I think you're just better up showing up. Just to see like, okay, grab a ball, maybe shoot a couple doing the pickup. Let's see. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Coach Wayne.
It's like they're going to play every day, anyways. Facts. There's car accidents every day. Accidents every day. Should I tell my loved ones not to drive anymore? I get what you are saying. However, what you are can't be blamed to the fact that they will be
Playing
playing
anyways.
game. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's the thing you can't avoid. Those are things that you really can't avoid, man, because that's you're right. Players are going to be players. Those who love the game or who love the sport are going to do whatever they can to get into playing that sport.
Mhm.
Thank you, Chef. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. So they're gonna get used to that. They want to play the game. They want to find ways to be able to be better every season, and it takes practice. We all know it takes practice to become better. And so
And
you
I
got
think it's
you
just
got
the
to get it
emotion,
in when you get it when you
and it's
can.
just the emotion of if I'm sitting up there and I'm an agent, I'm a GM, I'm whatever, and I see my breadwinner or saying a prominent individual that's basically what's good to MEB that's basically a high profile player, and I see news on or Sports Center at the ticker, uh Zaquan Wooden uh torn ACL from this, or it's Sean Davis uh a Achilles tear from that. That type of stuff you don't want to see. You know what I'm saying? You cut from even a program or anything like that. But like Coach Walcott said, you do in the course. I'm saying we wish none of this, what I'm saying, just examples. We wish none of this on any of these individuals. But just like Coach Walcott was saying, true enough, it does. It can happen anytime. Accidents, like we was talking about Aaron Baines, as he goes back and he's able to play in Austria again because yes, my fault, we bound to rebuke that. So it does say, but like he's saying, he plays in Austria and he was injured just years ago off of slipping and falling when he went to the bathroom during a world championship playing game. And he's been out of basketball since, and he's trying to make a comeback. So that was something that was like your coach Walker said. Did we tell him don't go to the bathroom do it during intermission? No, it was like it's going to happen, and sometimes it happens at the most inopportune times, or the worst of what could be. So it's understandable, but what of course what we do, all of us have been in the military for the most part, or for those who are service members, and watching like you, of course, you have some risk that take with risk management, and in this case, the most that would be is to not play a pickup game or not playing a program or whatever case like that. But I mean, to each his own. It's no, as like I said, there's no exact science, and it can go either way for the most part.
Wooten is a potential candidate for All Army. Don't do it. Train, train, train. Sometimes the players at those skill levels have no business being on the court with it. That's
True
how
that.
injuries occur.
True
That's
that.
facts. I agree to that. I agree to that. I agree to that 100%. You're right. If they don't have the skill set, sometimes it's those non-novice players who would come out there and end up injuring one of
Mm-hmm.
your players or so forth and
Mm-hmm.
so on. Don't have any type of court etiquette on how the game is played and so forth and so on, and find themselves in a bad situation. I get it. I get that. But like you said, you can get caught. You can get hurt in a car
Who's so
accident getting to the gym. Really, really, Wooten? That's what we doing right now, bro. And you had to put that up, Trey. You just had to add to it. You had to add to it, right? You adding to the nonsense. That's what he doing.
I
Either
think I was
way,
just in
man.
the zone and showing the comments. I'm sorry, my fault. Hold on.
But yeah, man. I totally understand where y'all coming from. You would prefer especially your star players not to play because yeah, it probably makes you cringe every time you see them do something. Go to the rack, try to lay the ball up or whatever it may be, and you just pray to God no one catches him or goes underneath him on a dunk or anything like that.
So yeah, so that's understandable. So what? How did they make the eggs, Bishop? Was it scrambled or is it poached? So
I can't. Trey, stop it. Why is you?
uh,
Why is you going in? And why is you add to it,
is
man?
it
When you
like
already
Coach
made it
Ryan
enough,
said?
why is you
Is
add
it
to it?
egg white? Did you get a mimosa with it? Like what's going on?
Coach, Coach, is that what we doing right now? That's
I'm
what
just
we doing.
wondering.
This, Coach, you gonna join in on the Coach? Don't do that, Coach. Don't do that, man. Don't join in on that. Don't join in on that. I was asking him because he brought me a cup of coffee. I had told him thank you.
You know
You
what? And
see
you
what is
did
what was
that.
that
You
question?
know what? You
Let me
did
ask
that
you.
as well. I'm gonna bring it back up, but I was just thinking like you did that as you sit back. What I just see, even though this isn't what happened, but in the moment, this is what I was seeing. That you were sitting back, you laid back, you put the pillow behind your head, you put your feet up, and you cross them, and then you was like, "Oh, thank you, chef. I appreciate that." While you sit there, that's like all that I seen in that moment. But
Because that's actually what happened, but that's actually what
and
took
just
place. But
so what's
anyway,
funny is I
I
only
moved
can
away
see
from the
your
table
top.
because the
I
chef
only
is
can see your top
preparing
shot.
the table for breakfast.
You say so,
He's
yeah. So,
planning to be
so
preparing the table for breakfast.
yeah. See, you know what I'm saying? That's your lifestyle. Living a lifestyle. Ain't give up about. I'm living my best
So
life.
that's all I'm doing. I moved away from the table, so I had to come over here and sit down so he could prepare the table for breakfast.
What word? I ain't mad at it.
What's the question, man? Let
I
me,
was about to
yeah,
say.
think.
No, I was about to
What
say
is this?
the
That
first
ain't me.
formation.
That's you.
The first formation checks is you doing the most.
Whatever, man. Let me ask this question: what's more important to the players, playing a pro am with a pro athlete or all army? What's their priority level for the player? For us, we want them for camp, but it's all army our priority ahead of playing with potential pros or maybe an athlete they look up to. Good question, Coach. That is a real good question. Because you're right, having the opportunity to be able to play with a professional player or a
That's a
player,
good hell of a good
player
question.
which you look up to, yeah, or a player in which you look up to, or a player that you may dreamed of playing with, all your life or whatever. How that's huge, and that opportunity don't come around a lot. It comes around once in a
So
lifetime, bro. So you have to take that chance, and sometimes you may want to take that chance to be able to play with somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
So true that. So it's. I think it depends on what your level of commitment into whatever you're doing. So in the fact of okay, I can go play in the pro am with these pro athletes to show you know what I'm saying to show what my
yeah.
prowess is as a
You
player
like it?
is one thing, but I have to look at what is my all army, me playing all army, what does that do to me? What is that? Is that my progressive period? Is that going to help? Is that going to propel me? Does that tape versus all other top players across the services going to be productive to me as opposed to me getting certain spurts against a player or some players that wear pro am? Because like pro am, sometimes there's no real pro in the pro am except for there may be a professional overseas player or something like that, which is okay. As we talked about earlier in the week, we discussed and talked about the difference in the levels when we talk about military from intramural on to all services. I mean,
Totally
so
understand. What up? What up? Taylor made. What up,
so
Fresh?
it's just that when you look at it, when I take a gander at it, like it's just that. So it's no different from okay when we do the show, we would like to have a Shaquille O'Neal or whomever on here because that's what everyone galvanized to because it's like oh snap, it's Shaquille O'Neal. But what about having the people who we can really touch and have a conversation with? Like in a week from now, in August, we can be going and rubbing elbows with Coach Hunter and Coach Walcott if they're there for the NBA All Star game, where we have a connection with them and speak to them, dap them up, have their phone numbers and call them. That's not the same thing we can get with a Shaquille O'Neal at this moment in our, you know, what I'm saying, and from an aspect of where we sit at. So it's like, what would be more to sit and to interview Shaquille O'Neal, possibly because that can probably turn into something, or to sit up and be able to touch Coach Hunter, Coach Hunter, Coach Walcott, Coach Daniels, now Coach Parker that are, as you see, they have hell, Coach Walker, Coach Uriah, and Coach Parker, Walcott, and Uriah all got selected to be the All Army women's basketball coaches. Head coach Coach Parker, Uriah, and Walcott as assistant coaches. So in their own right, they, you know, what I'm saying that's huge across the military basketball. So it's like they're just as much in their own right, in my opinion, just as much the stars as Pop if we used to go see Pop or Uduka or any of them. So it just depends.
So for me, having friends in the league, when I see them, we get in the gym as much as we can together, just like when we were growing up. Absolutely, absolutely. Especially if it's a game in which you love playing, man. If that sport you love playing, you're gonna find all means and all ways to get opportunity to play. Like me and my brother, my younger brother, who's right underneath me, 3 years younger than me. Him and I both have the same passion for football. This dude still goes out there and plays every weekend, bro. My brother's 3 years younger than me. He's 49. And he's 3 years younger. And he plays every chance he gets, man. Every chance he gets. So it's crazy. He's at 48. I'm sorry, I said 49. He's 48. So he gets every chance he gets to play, and that's what you do, man. When you want to, and I don't knock him because I was doing the same thing. Whenever you get opportunity, that's what you want to do, and especially around your friends when you meet up people in which you played the game with so long, like Wooten said, you're gonna do that, man.
That's good. It's a good thing you say that.
And that's not
you say that. Keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. It's good that you say that. But go ahead. We're listening.
Trey, he up to something, man. He up to something already. He up to something. The key words though are when it's something you love to do. It has to be something you love to do.
Duly noted.
Love to do.
So it's funny that you say that. You bring up the fact of football playing, still playing. DK Metcalf has been added to the few players in this what is called being labeled the hold-in era. DK Metcalf did report to as we move to NFL. DK Metcalf did report to training camp in Seattle. So he avoids missing $40,000 a day fine for not being at training camp. But he's not doing anything at training camp. He's just sitting on the sideline looking at players as adds to the group. Of course, other players doing holdings currently. Deebo Samuels is one, and I can't think of the safety from San Diego, from Los Angeles Chargers. He's doing it as well, where they're basically just sitting out. They're at practice, so they don't incur a fine, but they're not participating in practice as they hold out for contract extensions. So, of course, like you said, he's $40,000. He avoids a $40,000 fine. He watches the drills. In this particular time, do you know he's?
How does that make you feel, Trey, as a coach? As a coach,
I'm pissed.
You as a coach,
I'm pissed.
Oh, okay.
Why pull up? Don't pull up. And I was going to ask the same thing.
But you say, because he don't want to get fined. He don't want to get fined that's why he pulled up.
But why? But
as a coach, how are you feeling on the sideline?
Oh, I'm fuming.
Well, you know why? Because you know why he don't want to get fined.
Yeah,
right.
He's there because he don't want to get fined.
You know why?
So it's like every day. So I was about to ask the same question. Like, are you sending him home every day? Like, or are you just going to let him sit there?
You can't send him home.
I'm pissed. I'm in my mind. I'm like, yo,
because at the same token, even though you piss, you can't send him home because if you send him home. Now, when it comes around for somebody else wanting a contract, they're gonna say,
"Oh, thing.
All I gotta do, yeah, exactly. All I gotta do is come. They're gonna send me home anyway. I can avoid not getting fined, and I can still go home. So either way, no, he can't send him home. You know what I'm saying? But I get you as a coach. I'm furious, bro. I am furious.
Hell, from top to bottom, from going all the way up to the top. I know the owner probably sitting up in his office like, God, this ain't no telling what's being said. Like this is like, that's. So now, what was interesting, and we talk about. Well, of course, we know these reasons.
But again, Wooten, I feel what you're saying. You shouldn't be sitting out because you think you getting the money you deserve. But at the same token, what we talked about, me and Trey talked about the other day, you got to keep in mind, you not getting paid and still playing is very detrimental to you if you end up getting hurt. Because now you definitely ain't getting a paycheck.
But simply, it goes back to what Coach Walcott was saying when we were talking about the pro-ams and stuff. Like, you get hurt, it's possible to get hurt in any way, form, or fashion. But then it does go back to what we were just talking about. Like, you try to limit, you risk management, you try to manage as best you can. So, it goes back and forth. But it's like,
but there's a difference, though, Trey. But see, there's a difference. Yeah, there's a contract in which one of the differences. One is you're seeking a better contract in which you're currently in. The other one is just because you playing because you love the game. Period. You're not even discussing contracts. You're out there just because you love the game of football, basketball, whatever it is. Not saying DK Metcalf doesn't love the sport, but in his mind, and I'm just speculating, he's going to make $3 million.
He's going to make $3 million this year. $4 million. I'm sorry, $4 million.
In my mind, he's thinking like, damn, all these wide receivers just done got paid. I don't want to go out here. Mind you, DK Metcalf ain't no small cat.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a small
He
wide
plays
receiver.
physical.
Very physical. So keep in mind, we know how many altercations have we seen outside of just the injuries, but we've seen altercations as well as a great deal of injuries during practice. From torn ACLs, torn PCLs, MCLs, all of that. We've seen that happen in practice. So
Mm-hmm.
his thing is, I'm not really finna jump. I get what you're saying, Trey, and like coaches said, yeah, you can fall out the bed and sprain your wrist. You can get in a car accident on the way to practice, whatever. I get it, but with that being said, though, yes, all those things can happen no matter what. But there's even more of a chance if you get out there on that practice field. You know what I'm saying? It's more of a chance to get out. If I sit over here on this sideline waiting, my percentage of me getting hurt are way more slim compared to me getting out on that field and getting an 80% chance of getting injured, 70%,
But
50%,
so I
40%,
completely
to
I
my
understand.
10%, to my 5 or 10% sitting like this with my feet just with my cocktail watching the game, watching them practice. I'm
So
just saying.
I completely understand that I said, but again, you're contracted, so you have compensation being given to you for doing that. It's just not at this point. It's just not what you thought you should be getting paid at this point. Like it's like okay, like I said, he's due to make $4 million this year. Is
Facts.
it so? Is it clear? Is it a clear
But is
distinction
that
that he's worth more than
but
four
Trey,
million dollars?
absolutely. We're talking about DK Metcalf.
And he's talking about,
Do
but
you
he wants
like
a contract that's up like 25 million. So he wants a $21 million a year increase when he's still under contract. In which I'm a business,
well,
I have to look at paying other
we already
players.
know how you feel about. We all know how Trey feels about none.
Yes,
You don't believe
like
in paying nobody. They
chill,
feel
like
like
this.
Trey
I
want
will pay
Trey
you
want
just when
everybody.
I can. Give me a chance. Like I
Ain't
have
no.
other
What do you
players.
mean? No. You can't say when you can because you have all the means to do that. The money is
No, I
there.
don't.
That's not.
No, it's not
Yes, it,
there. I
yes,
have to
it
make it
is.
work.
No,
So,
it's
so
there,
this is what.
Trey. No, you can't say that.
So
The
this is why I
money
was
is
told
there.
one
It's not
time,
when
right?
you can. When you
This is
can means you don't have the capability of doing it right then and there because maybe don't have the means or have the money. But if you have the money, you can pay that person right then and there.
So this is what I've heard. And please correct me if I'm wrong. It's a completely a different layman type of situation where it's like layman's terms. I've sit up and seen where a person has been a person has been engaging with someone to where they said out of their mouths that at the point in which you are dating or you going across dating and you decide on one particular person, at that point you have told everybody else they weren't enough. They didn't matter. So, in that being said, if I am, if I, because you are my potential star wide receiver or whatever case like that, quarterback, running back, whatever the case may be, at that point in which you are that determine that individual, you are under contract. I have other people that probably I need to sit up and get them their money too. So in order to get you your money as bestly as possible I can, I gotta sit up and wait to get you that money. Just wait for a second. You're getting paid currently. You're paid to do a job. And you have compensation coming to you. It may not be the compensation that you want, but if you give me an opportunity, I'm not going to let you sit idly by and not get paid. I will get to you as soon as I can. But we have other things that are precedent and we just want to take care of that first. Because if that was the case, anyone that has feel like they have a greater value than anyone else on the team will be able to come up and be like, "Hey, I'm trying to get paid 2 years out," and that's just what I'm talking about. That's the part of which I don't agree with. So I see where Coach Walcott State sit out, get the money. Why? Because the NFL and the owners get theirs. True statement. If you have an opportunity to get yours, do it. Football is brutal sport, correct? Very physical. Get the security when you can. Ask Marcus Lattimore that same question. Ask OBJ that same question. Get the money now. I was drunk. I'm not trying to avoid paying people. I give them their money, but it's a process. People don't like processes. That's what it is. I found that people do not like processes, and there's a process. And we all know that, of course, in many various processes, what comes about is some people don't that some people's process is a little bit streamlined than others. Some people are able to get certain uh, benefits and are given are put forth before others. It's like being in the ER when a certain condition comes in. Someone that's in the ER, if you're just a what's that a conditional or whatever it is for it, when you're in the ER, an emergency comes in and you get pushed forward, and that's the process. But people don't like
Y'all know
process.
Trey not trying to pay nobody. You
I
know
would.
Trey is not. He's not paying nobody. That's why Trey, man. Ooh, Trey, if
I
he was a
will. Like I'm very shrewd, but I would be a very
bro,
shrewd
he
GM.
very shrewd.
But
Very
but if you deserve to get paid, we gonna pay you. Just give me a chance. Let me sit up and get it in there for you.
man. This dude here, man. What you say, Drunk? But if you give a player an extension, you still ain't gonna pay them technically till they get they old debt.
Deal is up. True,
You
true
know?
that. But that's what which is future money that I gotta look at. Like, hey, I might want to trade you in 2 years. I might not have been feeling you anyway. Like I gotta. So now you gotta bring that all to the equation. So but playing all service basketball is similar once in a lifetime opportunity to do both, but understand the risk. Selection awards recognitions can lead to promotion. It's all about priorities. True that. And that's what I was saying earlier, Coach Ryan, that one, you say it could be just depends on where you're going. Like if you don't plan to be in the military for the most part, then you're not worried about the accolades that could come with you doing that in the base in the military basketball a community environment or a genre, whatever how you want to label it. But if you just saying you're after the life experiences, achievements, and maybe can parlay that into something else, then you may go with okay, I'm gonna go play in the pro am and not go to try to play all services or all forces for the most part. But if you give a player I get like I said, get that drunk. Yeah. Like I said, don't let Bishop gas. See, you know what I hate is y'all allow Bishop to gas y'all on these topics, and it somehow something I said becomes a whole going off period. But when Bishop says
Hold on. How is
the
I'm
whole
gassing them up? I'm just, Drunk know that's how you are, bro. Drunk
that's
knows that you ain't finna pay no player, bro. He
that
knows
is
that.
that, but he
That don't have
believes
to be
that. But then
gassing
when I
him up.
said that, then you said when you with the talking about you don't train trying to play off. I'm trying to pay players. I don't want to sit up and say I don't want anyone to feel like I don't want to pay players. But it's saying it's protocols, it's progresses, it's process. I believe hugely in process. Even sometimes when I don't like how the process is working against me, it's a process, and I've known that. Later in my life I realized that processes are the devil to people, and that's just what it is. But that's just what it is. People don't like the word process, so that's what it comes out to be. So it's like that. But I'm not gonna
Oh,
say
we definitely know people don't like the word process. We
oh
know
yeah,
people don't like the
without
word
a doubt.
process.
I would have never thought like saying process is like saying Mufasa. Um, okay, let's go with this, bro. If I turn my ACL, you're not paying me the same as if I came off 100,000 yards and 12 TDs. It depends.
Straight facts. There you go, Drunk. See, now here you go talking about the depends. Here he go with the
I'm
depends.
not cheap, coach. I swear I'm not cheap.
Bro, I'm thinking you believe he is, coach. I'm
See,
telling
look at
you.
there you go again.
Bro,
Process. I'm tired of the word process. Pay me. No one likes the word process. So you like you're saying, like I understand.
he cheap, bro.
I'm not cheap. I'm just saying I'm looking at what's see, Bishop, you just started it again. See what I'm talking about? This this is exactly what talk happens every time. This is what happens every time. For me speaking truths and sit up and bringing it to discussion, I am not cheap and I'm willing to pay what's warranted when I am able to pay. That's all I'm saying. There's no process. It's that's just what it is. That's all. Like, I mean, it comes with the process. So I'm not cheap. We're gonna pay you. Just chill for a second. I'm not quick to try to pay you because you're still in the contract, but we will definitely look at it and try to make something work. And then, because of course, is what you have in some cases is once the player you come to the table with the player with what money, and they're like, nah, like okay, so now we doing like it's no different from who like Orlando Brown. They came to the table with a price, which I'm very sure was a pretty good price, but he's like, no, that's not good enough for me. So even if you're a top for him in his case, a top offensive lineman that's franchise tag that can make X amount of dollars for the top five, and you want to see something that's pretty close to that number, I'm sure. So if I come to the table with you and saying, hey, this is what we're willing to give, sometimes players turn it down because of the number of years that's on it, not enough years, too many years, that kills the average. A team looks to do that because they're trying to spread the money out. So in paying you, they still have some wiggle room. And so if you don't want to sit up and get down with me and try to help me to help the team, and which we're going to talk about a little later when we talk about the me versus team aspect, is like, what is it that you're trying to do? And I can't. So it's like I got to sit up and I'm trying to keep my job. I'm trying to pay you to do your job, and so I can keep my job and get paid. But you want to sit up and be a friction point, then I have to take and start to look at what is going to be best for this team. And at that point, and additionally for me later on, for me to make this happen. And that's just how I look at it. Like it has to be a median. And when I can, I will sit up and give the median and be like, okay, I can give you a little more than the median for, saying go out because you are this type of talent. If I can't do that, then it's just what it is. I'll be quick. Won't even lie to you. If I sit up and you tell me you don't plan on being here next year or whatever case like that, why wait? Let's not even wait. Let me see what I can get for you now. Because if you're a free agent next year, I don't get nothing for you and I lose you. Except or I get what I was paying you back. No, let's not even play games. Let me see what value I can get for you now. I don't give a damn who you are. You could be Patrick Mahomes. I'll be like, oh, word? You don't want to be here? Duly noted. Got it. And while I sit up and be on the phone, what can you give me? That's just how my mindset is. And if it gets me nothing at the end state and gets me a job loss, then so be it. Yeah, probably give me my money. He would be a perfect GM for the Charlotte Hornets. This is actually how Jordan thinks. So of course, like I said, DK Metcalf, like I said, Debo Samuel is my receiver, you know what I'm saying? He plays for my 49ers, and he's holding out. Hopefully they get him his money soon because of why he's holding out, just like Coach Walcott has been stating. You get in those situations where y'all holding out, if you're not training like everyone else, you're not working out like everybody else, and then you get on the field basically in the second preseason game, you done pulled a hamstring, tore ACL, a PCL, or all this stuff starts to happen. And now it's like some of that does to training and not being on there. It's coming. I got you, fam. So that type of happens. Additionally, in the Seattle Seahawks conversation, KJ Wright has retired as a Seattle Seahawk. As yesterday, he was able to sign a one-day contract that brought him back under the fold in Seattle and basically allowed him to say he's going to be a Seahawk by the time if he ever goes into the Hall of Fame. He did play an 11-year season in which he played 10 years for the Seahawks and was part of famed Legion of Boom defense. And then he basically, I ain't gonna say they released him. He left and went to Las Vegas and played last year for 1 year, in which he had expectations of coming back to play one more year, I think, or playing his 12th year in Seattle. But basically, they relented on that and basically said they were looking at more of a youth movement and staying with what they had, and which wasn't going to allow him to be on the team. So he's decided to call it quits and retire as a Seahawk. Like George said, definition of not bad, not great, but solid. And which is exactly what he was. And which was funny when I looked at KJ Wright's numbers, is he only had he had 40 over the course of his career, 11 years. In 11 years, he compiled 40 sacks, but only 159 tackles. But he was a linebacker as well. But it's like 40 sacks, 159 tackles. So I guess it goes to show they used him predominantly, which is about, of course, an average of a little less than 4 sacks a game. I mean, a year. But 159 tackles, like I was a little thrown off by that. But I mean, he is like Druk said, definitely a prime example of a player that wasn't that good, wasn't bad. He was a 4th round selection, I think. So it was a 1 day. He only got a 1 day, coach, to come back to an organization, not a 1 year. True that. Don't remind me, drunk. as I just knew Bobby was going to be a 49er. But where does he go? Of course. But in any case, yes, Coach, it's a 1 day just so he could sign up, not the 1 year. He tried to get a 1 year contract, but they didn't sign off on it. So just like with Frank Gore, signed the 1 day contract to come back to San Francisco. Bobby KJ Wright has signed the 1 year contract. A 1 day contract. Now so he can say he last team he signed for was Seahawks, and he's gonna go on to, I guess, if he gets into the Hall of Fame, be going as a Seahawk. Bishop, I ask you, if out of all the installations you've been to, which one would you be like, you know what, I want to go back and sign a 1 day contract to be so I can retire as a soldier from
Fort Hood, man.
Fort Hood?
Probably Fort Hood, yeah, because I had a good time in Fort Hood when I was playing ball out there as well. Either Fort Hood, and then a real close second would probably be Germany. Remember I told you about how because that was when I would play full contact over there. So it would be, them two would be running neck and neck. Fort Hood or Germany would be the two if I had to pick.
So true that. Fort Hood, it would be Fort Hood.
Even though you spent most of your career in Texas.
I spent my whole career at Fort Hood.
Yeah.
But which was all, playing the whole time. So basically I played, like you could say, I actually played like 18 years playing at Fort Hood. Uriah said Fort Richardson for him. Yeah, but then you got to realize
I heard about Fort Richardson before. I heard that about Fort Richardson, Coach Hutter. People say that about Fort Richardson. I heard that it's the best kept secret in the Army. I heard that before.
But it's unfortunate, I don't have much to choose from. Who said Fort Couch for me? It would be a damn millennial soldier to say some stuff like that. It would be.
That's what we doing for a couch. That's what we doing for a couch.
It would be a millennial soldier to say something like that. But yeah, so I ain't have much to choose from. Or mine would even be Fort Hood, unless you was to add like stuff like the places it was while deployed. But it would be Fort Hood. What else we got? Speaking back to my squad, I know if Coach Wayne is watching, we are football divisional enemies because he reps Los Angeles Rams, and so hence the reason I said something about Bobby Wagner, because he probably should have been a 49er, but he decided to go with. We're trying to Wooten. I think I'm going to be there. I plan to be there. I think Bishop's going to be there too. I'm not sure, but we plan to pull up. It does not. They don't have a football league. Basically, they have you have intramural sports or teams, and then sometimes you might have a tournament or whatever case like that. And sometimes teams are constructed and go play in stuff like World Flag Football Championship and stuff like that. We did, Coach. We talked about that as Bishop entered back onto the conversation. I'm very sure this is going to strike a nerve with him because he disagreed with it, in which he just refuses to receive. So this is the only core I have with this, right? When we look at Kyler Murray, right? When I look at Kyler Murray, and I look at as Bishop Shaker said, when I look at Kyler Murray, and I look at Baker Mayfield. What I, from a personal standpoint, see is a sense of lack of maturity in certain things. So with seeing that lack of maturity, I look at Lincoln Riley, and I wonder what is Lincoln Riley going to actually do for the USC Trojans in state. So that's my only core I have with that, because you look at the situation with Kyler Murray.
We talked about this. We talked about this, Trey. We talked about this again. When it's all said and done, how much of a problem is Kyler Murray's work ethic if we had all these other coaches who never spoke anything about it? Never spoke anything about his work ethic, but all of a sudden his work ethic. Now that he's over there with Cliff,
I'm with you, but that's the only problem I have. That's the only thing I have, Coach. That's the only thing I have. Like, what is Lincoln Riley going to really do for us?
He can't, because Lincoln over there right now. He can't leave it out the conversation because Lincoln is over there right now.
I wonder, like, Lincoln, are you not developing players?
How do you feel? How can
You
you
say
say that, bro? Oh, because
because I just wonder.
you adding Baker Mayfield to that question too, ain't you?
Yeah,
You adding
too.
Baker
Like you gotta
Mayfield to
look at
that
that.
equation too, ain't you?
Yeah, you gotta look at that. Like they're both like look at their what they have done in the NFL from a maturity standpoint. So I wonder, like, is this like you said, they both are Heisman Trophy winners, but we can't sit up and say like this is a situation where we just basically turn our head and look the other way because they're talented. Are they developing these players? Like, is he really developing these players? Are we, saying, yes, USC going to win the national championship, the CFP this year, and Lincoln Riley's going to be heralded. But what happened with Caleb Williams gets into the league, and they started, now he's the next one they talking about doesn't have, didn't do certain things or isn't doing certain things. Like, I don't want that for USC. We had enough issues and problems over the course of the years. We don't need those problems anymore. I just want to be successful and win like we used to. Let's get back to the Pete Carroll days.
Wait a minute. What do you mean, Drunk? He one of the boys. What does that mean, one of the boys? What? Enlighten me, Drunk. I need to know what that means, bro. What does that mean?
He's one of the boys. Like,
Who's
he's
one
a
of the
coach
boys?
that's like he, okay, like,
Meaning
yeah,
what?
think about it. When you had soldiers that, soldiers get accustomed, like, oh, Sorry, David's cool. And, and they sit up and start to be a little more loose around you as opposed to abiding by certain things. Like, I've always been a person, like, we deal together, but we have to recognize I am Sergeant Amir. You are especially so clear cut. Like, we can, like, from an adult standpoint, a person standpoint, we can chill and be around each other, but you have to keep a clear, defined line and understand, like, who I am and who you are at the end state. And so I think that's what he's saying. Like, Ricky Riley is a coach, but he's also one of the boys that's like, okay, it's cool, which allows that nonsense to where, okay, you're talented enough where you probably can get by. You allow him not to look at tape or not to be well defined and looking at film and
Come
to have
on.
it.
Come on, Trey. Come on, Trey. Come on,
I'm just
Trey.
saying.
Come on, Trey. Come on, Trey. You and Wooten, y'all on some other stuff right now, bro. There's no coach. I don't care how good you are. You are not going to ignore the fact if a player is not doing what he's supposed to do as a player in his position, especially at a QB position. You're not going to sit here and get me to believe that Lincoln Riley allowed Baker Mayfield, Heisman Trophy winner, Kyler Murray, Kyler Murray, Heisman Trophy winner, to both have bad work ethic and not say anything about it.
It's possible.
Yeah, and not say anything about it. No, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
For a sec. So this is what it's a certain cook in which we had, right? Prior to us getting there, there was a certain cook that there was in the kitchen that was allowed to do whatever he wanted on other shifts. When he became
hold on.
That's what. Hold up. When he got the C shift, then foot was held to the fire. He was not able to do what he wanted to do, and it was a little back and forth until he got in line.
What cook was this?
You know what stick I'm talking about. Crawford. Crawford would do what the hell he ever. Crawford would only work on meats. Like Crawford was coming in when he wanted to. All he did was work on meats until he got on C-shift. Right. And he's like, no, fam, you can't just work meats. You got to move around because people are seeing
Crawford.
This.
I forgot about Crawford.
So he was very valuable in the kitchen.
I forgot about Crawford. He did get away with murder a lot of time until he got to another shift. You right?
Appreciate it, Coach Wayne. You enjoy your day, sir. Look forward to see you again. You know what, Coach? In that part, I mean, so I think that leads into a whole different conversation. Like, that's a whole different conversation. That leads to a whole different conversation.
Let me say this, Trey. It's embarrassing, but not only that. Why isn't that not seen immature as an organization to put that out there? Because I agree with a lot of the analysts out there who said, you know what I'm saying, that is very immature for you to do that, to even say that about this player. Because me as an owner, I would tell my coach,
another OU player.
I would tell him, I would be like, look, man, that don't need to be in the contract. However, you need to state these things, because how many times, Trey, and I'm gonna put this all on my military personnel out there. How
Mhm.
many times have we wrote? How many times have we wrote monthly counseling on a soldier and didn't put everything down on it on a monthly counseling? But we stressed
I'm
it when it came
I'm
time to
even
give them
worse
that
because I
monthly
didn't write.
counseling.
I'm even worse because I ain't always do monthly counseling. So like, I was just at fault.
That
I was
part
as much
too.
as fault. You
But
know, saying
even
as
when
much
we
as
did do
fault.
monthly counseling,
Yeah, when you
yeah.
were forced. Yeah.
But when we did do monthly counseling, there were certain things you didn't want to write down in
So
that
you
monthly
know what?
counseling.
And you know what? When you put it like that, I can completely agree because in my military career, I had a situation to where I had a sergeant. A sergeant. I had a sergeant allow a brand new private get into a POV with his weapon and drive down the street to Burger King. Get in the car with her with the POV in the VOV. And when I got it, I was livid. But you know what? I didn't I didn't write the NCO up. I didn't do, you know why I didn't do any of that? Because I had a large section and I was the only, if I had sit up and asked her, I would have been the only NCO in that section, which means I would have put more work on. I would have had more work in premise, so I can understand. So, but that's what I'm saying though. Like if you, it's
Because
certain
that's Article
aspects.
15. That's
Oh
Article
yeah,
15
that's
out the gate.
definitely she's finna
Out
lose
the
a
gate.
strike.
Out
So
the
you know what I'm
gate.
saying? Like you
Yeah.
don't sit up and go, yeah. So when I look at that, so for me, I had to sit up and go in my mind. I went through and was like, do I sit up and do what I'm supposed to do? Or you know what I'm saying, or then I think I did that me thing where I was like, I'm not finna do that because if I do that, this is what's gonna happen. And now I gotta deal with this, and this is a
Thought about
position I'm gonna
self.
put
You
myself
thought
in.
about self and what you,
I did.
yeah, you
I
thought about
did.
your future and
And did.
what your
So
friends
that's
to
why I say
tell in the near future. Yeah, I can see
yeah.
that. I
And
totally
so that's why I
see that.
say I wonder is that what Lincoln Riley did when you talk about like Drunk just brung up CD Lamb and they're talking about his work ethic so these are all Oklahoma players. It's like yes, you're talented, but what are you just allowing certain things for them to get through because they're going to only be there for 2 years for the most part and then bounce after that. And that's what I don't want for USC players. That's the only core I have when you look at it because I mean, so yeah,
I mean, and I see where you come in with certain things you don't put up on paper because it's career
exact
ending.
that
That
part,
part, you're right. Those are very verbal conversations that have been stated before and ignored. Absolutely,
that
that
part.
you hit it right there. Thank you, Coach Hunter. That's it right
Habitual
there.
line
That's
steppings,
it right
as
there.
a
So
professor would say.
that part. So when it's all said and done, that there's better ways in which they could have, handled that in regards to Kyler Murray. If he's immature, if his weakness is film study, then you need that as a coach. You need to be like, look, man, when in that type of situation, that's where the adult in you and the mature level shines most out of you. Because me, if I'm a coach, what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna put that in the contract. What I'm gonna do is, even though the coach didn't do it, but if the coach had influences on allowing that to be put in it, because the coach had to tell him about his work ethic, obviously. But if I'm the coach, I'm gonna let him know, hey, we signed you on it. After he signed his contract, I'm bringing him in the office. Or when he comes to sign it, hey, Kyler, we need to talk. Come in the office. Of course, that's not in the contract, but I'm gonna talk to him. Hey, look, last season, the last 2 seasons, I've been watching you. I know what you were doing in Texas A&M. I see here it's kind of a bit of the same. And we don't even know why he left. Texas A&M. We got to keep that in mind too, Trey. He left Cliff to go over to Lincoln. So we got to keep that in mind. Could that possibly been? And this is not even coming to bat for Kyler Murray. Could that have possibly been the reason why he left Cliff? Because of the fact that his poor so-called work ethic wasn't suitable to Cliff. Therefore, he left Texas A&M and went to Oklahoma. We have no idea. But again, in the conversation, I'm gonna talk to him. I'll be like, look, I see some of the same things I saw when you was at Texas A&M. I see it still carrying on here at Arizona. I need you to fix this. So what we're gonna do is here throughout the weeks, upcoming, leading into the practice, leading into the preseason, you and I are gonna come in here in this film room and we're gonna break down this film together. You and I are gonna break this film down together. We go see things. I want you to tell me things in which you see. I'm gonna evaluate it, and for the things in which you missed, I'm gonna definitely bring it to your attention and see if we can get on the same level. I blame Kyler Murray agent for allowing that. Does the eight? Well, yeah, because the agent should have pre-read it. Should have actually read it.
Well, no. So the
Right.
agent, only thing the agent could have did is, but like, yo, this is a stipulation, and then it's up to Kyler to decide if he wants to go with those stipulations. And then Kyler could tell the agent, like, nah, we need
Right.
to get this. I'm not going to sign that. Then the agent needs to go back and try to do as best he can to try to circumvent that and basically get them to come off that. But obviously, that's a huge stickler because they're looking at they paid this man $250 million. And this is what they want. And so now, also, when you look at it, what happened? Like they probably did. I'm willing to think. I don't know if they did, but they had that conversation with him, and in having that conversation with him, he felt a certain type of way and did exactly what he did that started the whole firestorm. Is he went and removed them off all his social media and everything, which put it out in the open, which can be a power move depending on whatever it is. It's like it was subliminal. He never came out and said there was a problem. He just removed them, and the media did the rest. So you know, what I'm saying in that matter, when you go to NCO, he has potential verbal. You don't kill a career like that. It's an insurance event. Giving him a contract is so contradicting. But I think so. Yes, coach, it could be
Yeah.
contradicting, but I think what it is, like we was talking
Okay.
about the other day when
I
we were talking
mean,
about it, is he's basically they see value in him, and this is something in which they think could help set the tone to get him back. But in state is it does seem embarrassing. Like this is your craft, and I have to sit up and put
it's very
addendum
embarrassing.
in your contract. I have to put an addendum in your contract to basically to make sure that solidify you doing what it is that's asked of you of your job, like that's showing, you know what I'm saying, and then to set up and then it became news, and then you posted the contract on social media. So it's like
You have to watch film, drunk. There's no way you don't watch film. There's no way if you don't watch film, bro, you're not properly prepared to play that next game. In no way, form, or fashion. If you don't watch film, there's no way that you can go out there and try and pick away that defense. And if you don't know what to look for, you can't. In professional sports, you can't wing it, and that would be winging it. Not watching film, that would definitely be winging it. You can't just go out there and practice with your teammates and practice your actual playbook and your offensive scheme, and you didn't watch nothing on the defense in which you're about to face. It's not possible.
and so
Even in flag football, I used to watch what the hell the other team did. We didn't have film, but I would go to games early. Or I would stay after games and watch who they key players were, who they like to, do this with, who they like to do that with, who they sending at me, rushing the quarterback. Is he fast? Is he slow? Does he like to come in uncontrolled?
Yeah.
Oh, which receiver doesn't have good hands? Which receiver, which DB over there doesn't have good hands? Which DB watches the backfield instead of watching the player? That was just in flag football. So you're not gonna tell me that they're not watching films and going into these games and not winning without watching films. And I just can't see that. But I mean, Trey, maybe you know something differently.
Well, no, I agree with that, but I was willing to touch on this, in which Coach Ryan was asking about if the agent is concerned about that dollar figure or more about the player's image. So of course they go hand in hand. In
That's
my
a good
opinion,
question, man. Good question.
It goes hand in hand because, of course, like I stated before, when you're an agent, you're only contractually to the amount of money that you were able to broker at the end state, whatever that percentage is, which y'all agreed upon. So, in that being said, you can be fired. Like if you go in and I deemed as a player, or like we were saying, Bishop, if I'm your agent and you go in and I sit up and do this, and what they say is that you can't, that they put in an addendum or put out an addendum that you're going to have to sign because you play Madden. You're a gamer. You game a lot. And they feel like because you're doing more gaming and more Twitch streaming than you are studying film, and they put that addendum in there. When I come to you with this addendum and tell you this is what they're doing, and if I sit up and tell you like just sign it, because in state is, when I look at it, is if you said this is what you're doing and you have work ethic, you're good. This is skin. This is water. This don't make a difference. They're just simply putting something to protect their interests, and that's what it is. So if I'm already doing it, I can care less for the most part. Now we're going to have this conversation like it's being had, like, okay, this is embarrassing or whatever case like that. You are $250,000 cheaper. $250 million cheaper. You ain't worried about winning $1 billion Powerball or Mega Millions because you are $250 million richer as is over, over payments. You're good. So if you're doing exactly what it is that you're supposed to be doing, it's just talk. It's all I can sit up and turn as an agent. I can turn that and flip that and basically come out with that rhetoric to where it's like where I could put a reasonable doubt in those people, viewers, that hey, this may be or may not be. But at the point in which you're making a huge deal about it and you're bringing it up and talking all this type of stuff, maybe there's some where it comes from a place. And this is what they're doing to protect their interests. In state is they're protecting their interests one way or another, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, then it's cool. If you game on. Because at the end state, if you can show them that you done did 4 hours of whatever it was supposed to be doing the studying, we're good. And then additionally, to go back to what Coach was saying, the player's image, that's what I need to do. Be able to, because the agent needs to be a PR type person and stuff like that. So I need to figure out how I'm going to flip this to work in our benefit, and which I would do. I think I could be very good. I think I'm very good at that. To flip the image, whether it's good or bad, I find an angle. But that, But in any case, you can fire me after that. You might feel like, like Trey went and did this. Yes, I'm good, but I think it's just that time. I don't, to sit up and go through this again. Maybe he didn't protect my best interest, whatever case like that. And you can fire me, and all I'm going to do is get whatever it is what I brokered for you, which is mainly that guaranteed money. The only way I get additional money is if you go into that other part of it from that wasn't guaranteed, and then I will get a supplemental check after that, unless you pay me up front for everything which I brokered in state. So yeah, that part. So,
but I mean, and a part of me, again, a part of me, this is to go off of since Trey always say I'm biased or whatever. Excuse me. This is to go off to this too. I'm thinking about this, right? And you put yourself in college shoes, or not college shoes, but put yourself in the shoes of any other player. Let's say Aaron Rodgers, a Tom Brady, a more seasoned player. Uh-huh. You as a quarterback, and you got that contract from your coaching staff, your organization, saying that had that clause in it. Would that part of would you not saying anything, or you not addressing it to the organization or whoever brought up the contract? Doesn't that show a sign of maturity in being immature as well? Because
no,
any mature listen. Let me explain why I say that. Okay. Any mature person would not allow certain things to be said, or allow certain things to be put in a contract. The mature level of you, excuse me, the mature level of you is going to prevent something like that could possibly brandish your image. You're not going to allow anything that could possibly become Peyton Manning, anybody. You're not going to possibly allow anybody to put something in a contract that could possibly be detrimental to your image and to who you are. Because we all know everybody has access, or has not everybody, but a lot of scouts, they're not scouts, but social media, a lot of sports analysts and stuff. They have access to stuff like that. That's how we found out about the contract.
Yeah.
So anything that draws a red flag, a sports analyst is going to find out and is going to publish
report it. Yeah, report it. Do what they're supposed to do. Their job
like they're supposed to. It's a topic. So with that, I feel like that's a certain type of maturity level because of the fact that you didn't recognize or didn't take the time as a young athlete to pay attention to the small detail in which you should have addressed or should have made cognizant to those people who wrote the contract and say, look, I don't like this. Either you remove this or rewrite the contract, or I'm not signing it and we don't have a deal. Because at some point,
are you saying that she would have left that money on the table due to that addendum?
Absolutely. Because when it's all said and done, if Kyler Murray is no longer an Arizona Cardinal in say 2 years, that's still gonna linger over his head.
True that.
People, all these other organizations are gonna always remember they put out Cliff Kingsbury and then put out that he has a poor work ethic and when it comes to film session.
And which,
So
if it
anywhere
isn't
you
true, and
go,
that's what go back to what I say. If it's not true, then it's not going to be even ever known to you. But even to
but
going
how
on
would you
what you,
know? How are you gonna know it's true though, Trey?
the
To
people
be honest,
like,
how what?
so
Go ahead.
it's going to, it would take for, like you would say, if Kyler Murray is no longer there, he goes somewhere else, and then he goes, when he gets to somewhere else, it comes up, because if he goes somewhere, if he leaves Arizona in 2 years and he goes to another organization, it's going to be brung up when he's going, and this is could have been some of the reason behind. So when he gets to the other organization, if he is doing what he's supposed to do, then I'm very sure the coach or whoever is going to stand up for him and state, like, I didn't see it, or, saying, I don't know what they was talking about, but he has been this type of person since being here, or whatever case like that. That's one thing. Additionally, like you were saying, remember, like, all the rap beefs and stuff like that. Like, at one point they used to go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? People go back and forth. You drop you drop your joint, I drop my joint, I come back with another joint, yada yada yada, back and forth. Until it got to the point to where some cats stopped responding. You drop a beat, you drop a joint, like Pusha T drop that track on Drake. I still ain't heard a response from Drake. And that was like 3 years ago. So it's like some stuff you just don't respond to. Everything is a fightable battle. And I think they just have to pick and choose. And I think and this is in my case, if this isn't true and he's proficient at his film study and does it, he just does it differently, in which they don't see, then that's not a fighable battle. There's no use in fighting that battle. And I think that's basically what the outcome is. Like, if there's no reason to fight this battle, like, let it go. He got to get with the Super Bowl to get that off his back.
I mean, and that's a good way to get it off your back. That's a good way, because now you can say, because again, when it's all said and done, I still believe it's hard. It's still hard for me to believe that Kyler Murray has a poor work ethic, especially being like someone, I forget if it was Wooten or whoever, said that some of these players like Lamar Jackson and I think he said Burrow aren't watching study films. There's no way you go 7-0 without watching without going in the film room and studying who you're playing. It's not possible.
I think it's possible.
It's not and get a win. That's how when you don't know what to look for from each team in which you're playing week to week. How can that be possible? In my opinion, that's like going into a team blindfolded. Now it would be different if it was your first season, because the teams don't know what to expect coming from you, because they've only seen you play in college football, if they even watch you play in college football. Your first season, I can get that, with your record being successful and stuff like that. But your third, fourth season in, there's no way, because people know how you play now, so they're adjusting to your play style. So if they're adjusting to your play style, you have to adjust too, because now they got a spy. Hey, Kyler likes to run out the pocket. Now they got a spy linebacker. He's shadowing everything in which Kyler is doing. As soon as he steps past that line of scrimmage, he going straight full speed at Kyler. You mean to tell me Kyler ain't gonna pay attention to see who that spy linebacker is? He has to be able to find that out. He has to know that there's a spy linebacker on him. He has to know, hey, as soon as I cross this line of scrimmage, this dude is coming at me full speed like a train. He has to know these things. He has to know that if they double team and B hop, if they double teaming Hopkins, somebody's in the front, somebody in the back. He's got to be able to recognize those things. And for me, it's still hard to believe, despite the fact that, like I said, I wasn't, the last two examples weren't directly in Kyler Murray's corner, but it's still hard for me to believe.
Yeah, and like I said, it may be that, and it's just remains to see.
If Oboya come out of USC and gets drafted, the QB, he comes out of USC. Kyler Williams, Caleb Williams. If he comes out of USC and gets drafted, and his first coach says the same thing, that he has a bad work ethic or immature, but immaturity is not on the coach, though. Immaturity is not on the coach. That's an individual thing.
Well, you're supposed to develop your players.
You're supposed to develop You're supposed to. My wife talking. You're supposed to develop your players. However, you're supposed to develop your players. However, how you mature is not on the coach. It's on the players still. You have to mature within yourself to be able to accept what he's trying to teach you. Him or her is teaching you.
I know, but it's how you talk to people. like in leadership positions and things like that, you're supposed to develop the people that are around you.
Correct.
And you're supposed to give them the tools that they need to be able to mature.
Right. However, but when it's all said and done, it's up to you.
It's a personal.
Right. It's up to you to get to that point. I agree. You supposed to have the leadership skills to be able to develop the maturity in that person. However, when it's all said and done, the last draw is you yourself, though. Somebody said, "Get him, Miss Bishop." Whatever. She don't hype her up.
Tell him, no. He's like you. That's what you tell him. At that point, he's Miss Chantel, Mr. Chantel. That's basically what happened.
That's right. They want it. They gotta want it. You can't make them want it. That part exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. They gotta want it themselves. They have to want to mature in that aspect of the game themselves first. Once they get to that level, man, the coach can tell them anything. They out there? No. Yeah. Yeah. When they get to that point, the coach can tell them any and everything, and they should be able to come over it real easily. In my opinion.
And we'll see. It's but like I said, for me, you know what I'm saying. I just hope that was the individual, and it's not Lincoln, because then it's like that hurts. It hurts the program. It hurts the program. He continued with that. It's like, oh, Lincoln Riley isn't developed. Is only he got talented players, but they're not developing.
Yeah, like I said, let's go to if Caleb Williams come out and gets drafted, and a team says the same thing about him immaturity. And it's stuff obvious. Like that, it's gonna be a problem. Yeah, it's gonna be very obvious. It's gonna be very obvious. I totally agree.
So of course, y'all know that's our time today as we come close to the end of the day. As y'all see, Bishop live, remote location in the Maldives. No, in Mexico.
Letting them boys do what they want to do out there. Yeah, we're gonna see Coach Hunter. We're gonna see that. Hey, that's no longer the Sooners' problem. That's them USC boys' problem now. And that is no longer our problem. We gonna see though. We definitely gonna see. Time will tell.
Oh yeah, I've been hearing about this conversation. I'm gonna have to go check it out. The pivot.
What's this? I'm telling you, Jamarcus Russell, if you got some.
I heard about the Jamarcus Russell interview as well as the Beasley, Malik Beasley interview, or Jason Beasley. I'm sorry, not Jason Beasley. That's somebody I know, but Beasley, Michael Beasley. Yeah, that interview. So I had to check those both out today. The pivot with Clark and the rest of them. So yeah, I'll check this out. But yeah, like I said, that's our time for today. We look forward to see y'all tomorrow, Friday, the last day. I think we have a special guest.
Weekend Eve, baby.
We have a special guest as Bishop goes to where we hear the wildlife in the background and the palm trees and the sun, the pool, the ocean, or the Pacific or the Gulf, whichever that one is. Yeah, that's what he is. He flexing. That's basically he's flexing. That's what's going on.
I'm not flexing, bro. I just want y'all to see what I got going on behind me, man. It's a blessing to be able to show something like this.
Just like where was that comment? I should have highlighted it. The comment that Anthony had made is like, damn, this is like your 15th vacation this year.
Hey man, why y'all count my vacations, man? Why y'all count my stuff, man?
That's
why y'all count my vacation, man?
But we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Like you said, we should have a special guest, Bishop's special guest to have on and have a little conversation.
He in the pool right there. There you go. I'm going to have him on there tomorrow.
On here tomorrow. So have a conversation. What do you say?
What do you say?
Let me know that you nigga put seasoning salt on everything. Give the paprika.
Stop it, man.
He got Kyler Murray at the house. That was Kyler Murray in the background. That's exactly what it was.
No, that is not. Look at these fools, bro.
So yeah,
surfing in the pool. Where they surf at in the pool, bro?
That's a lifestyle. That's because we can't see the rest of the pool. That's why he's able to do that. Like they got that machine that causes the waves. He got the machine that causes the rest of the waves. That's what this got going.
No, man, ain't nobody got that.
But you gotta say, be great. Look to see y'all tomorrow. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. Right here at 9 o'clock a.m. tomorrow, Central Standard Time. We look forward to see y'all. Holla at you. One.
Cyro 5 Military Fraternity Incorporated in the building. We'll holler back. Peace.